The alarm klaxons tore through every deck of the colony ship Perseverance. Red emergency lights pulsed like dying heartbeats. 40,000 souls, families, dreamers, children who had never known any sky but steel, understood in the same terrible instant. They were going to die in the black. Captain Elena Rodriguez gripped the arms of her command chair until the metal groaned. Main fusion drive, dead. Backups, fried 30 minutes ago. Life support, cascading failure. The air already tasted thin, metallic, cold. 6 hours. Maybe less. Resend the distress beacon, she ordered, voice steady even as her chest tightened. Everyone knew it was useless. They were deep in interarm void, a route chosen for speed, for cutting weeks off the journey to Epsilon Haven. A dead zone. No traffic. No help. Communications Officer Peter stared at his panel, eyes shining with unshed tears. Captain, even if someone hears it, no one can reach us in time. Rodriguez forced herself to look at the internal feeds. Parents clutching children in darkened corridors. Old couples holding hands in silence. Someone singing a lullaby that cracked on the high notes. She had failed them. The bridge doors hissed open. Ambassador Sarah Chin entered. The woman meant to carry Earth's first major extrasolar colony into the future. Now she would share its grave. Yet her face held no panic, only quiet resolve. She stepped beside the captain and watched the same feeds in silence. "I'm sorry," Rodriguez whispered. "I thought the shortcut was safe." Chen rested a hand on her shoulder. "You made the call with the data you had. No one blames you for wanting to bring them home faster." Peters suddenly lurched upright. "Captain, we have a response." The bridge froze. Rodriguez's pulse thundered in her ears. Source? Distance. Kellrath Merchant Convoy. They're identifying as independent traders. And Captain, Peter swallowed. They're 4 hours out. They caught our first broadcast and have been burning hard toward us ever since. For hours, against 6 hours of air. "Tell them we have 40,000 souls aboard," Rodriguez said. Peters shook his head. "They already know, ma'am. They scanned us. Their lead captain calls himself Thecna, says they can take everyone." Chin stepped forward. "How?" 40,000 people need life support, space, food." The reply came in halting, translated English overlaid with soft insectal clicks. "We will jettison our entire cargo. Every credit's worth of merchandise. We will convert the holds into temporary habitats. It will be crowded. It will be hard. But you will live." Chin stared at the comm panel. "Your cargo, that's your livelihood. Your future." A long pause. Then the clicking voice, calm and certain. "Life is worth more than profit. This is the Kellrath way." Through the forward viewport, they watched 5 brightly painted merchant vessels. Practical, worn, adorned with swirling cultural patterns. Approached like old friends. One by one, they opened massive bay doors and simply let everything go. Crates of rare alloys, exotic spices, priceless artworks, entire inventories of advanced components tumbled silently into the void. Millions in value, generations of work, gone in minutes. The Kellrath crews worked with frantic precision, ripping out internal bulkheads, sealing emergency habitats, converting every cubic meter into breathing room for strangers. The rescue took 3 hours. Airlocks mated. Humans poured across the thresholds, carrying only what they could hold. Kellrath crew, tall, chitin-plated, compound eyes gleaming green-blue, guided them with careful mandibles and gentle upper limbs. Children who'd been terrified moments before stared in wonder at the strange, kind giants who had come from nowhere. Sarah Chun was among the last to leave the dying Perseverance. She stood with Captain Thecna in the now crowded flagship hold. The air smelled of unfamiliar resins and warm metal, but it was breathable. Around them, families embraced. Children laughed for the first time in hours. "Captain Thecna," she said formally, "on behalf of Earth and every soul you saved today, thank you. Humanity owes you a debt we can never fully repay." Thecna waved his upper arms in gentle negation. "We seek no debt. We seek no reward. When someone drowns, you extend a limb. You do not demand payment after." Chen's eyes were fierce. Perhaps that is your way, but it is not ours. Let me be very clear, Captain. Humanity never forgets a kindness given in our darkest hour. What you did today will echo through our people for centuries. And if the day ever comes when you need us, we will be there. 10 years, 1,000 years. We will remember. The old Kellrath tilted his head, mandibles clicking softly. Perhaps confusion, perhaps something deeper. They carried the survivors to the nearest human outpost. 2 weeks in cramped, improvised quarters. They refused every offer of compensation, every medal, every honor. Vecna's final word was simple. Seeing your children breathe again was enough. Then the merchant fleet turned back into the deep to rebuild from nothing. On Earth the story spread like wildfire. Survivors told in every language. Historians archived every frame of footage. Schools taught it. A formal resolution, Protocol Perseverance, was passed unanimously. If the Kellrath ever call for aid, Earth will answer. No debate, no hesitation. 150 years passed. High Chancellor Vecna, ancient now. Carapace cracked and dull, sat alone in his tower on Kellrath Prime. His people were dying. 3 systems left. 200 million souls. An economy in ruins. A fleet of museum pieces. And the Vin hegemony had arrived. Their ultimatum was cold, clinical. 72 hours to evacuate military assets. Resistance would be met with force. No negotiation. Vecna's aide Shitra entered, antennae trembling. They've sent the final demand, Chancellor. He stared at the hologram of the Vin commander. Scales like burnished steel, eyes empty. Send a message. Vecna said at last. To every world we once traded with. To every species that remembers us. Tell them goodbye. Tell them the Kellrath thanked them for the years of peace. Tell them we leave with dignity. Shitra hesitated. And to Earth, Vecna's mandibles moved in the faintest echo of a smile, especially to Earth, because once, long ago, a human woman told me her people never forget. The farewell broadcast went out across the galaxy, dignified, no begging, just acceptance. Most powers sent polite condolences. The Vin were too strong, the Kellrath too small. But on Earth, in the Grand Assembly, Ambassador James Chun, great-grandson of Sarah Chun, rose when the message finished. He wore his ancestors' diplomatic pin, motioned to invoke Protocol Perseverance. The chamber went still. The vote took 90 seconds. Unanimous. The speaker struck the bell 3 times. Protocol Perseverance is active. The full might of Earth and her colonies is committed to the defense of the Kellrath sovereignty. This is our word. And our word is iron. Within hours, 2 full fleets mobilized, 400 warships, thousands of volunteers. Corporations diverted entire supply chains. Civilians sent care packages. Retired pilots dusted off old flight suits. And then, unexpectedly, the galaxy answered back. Warrior clans pledged ships. Trader guilds offered logistics. Medical collectives sent hospital vessels. Small, vulnerable species that had once been helped by humans now stepped forward. Because some debts, it turned out, were contagious. The Vin laughed at the first ultimatum. They laughed at the second. They stopped laughing when 480 Allied warships dropped out of FTL at the edge of Kellrath space. The battle that followed was not elegant. It was not honorable in the old Galactic sense. It was human. Swarm drones, adaptive missile salvos, fluid, predatory ship maneuvers, flanking strikes from Allied forces, ambush from silent reserves hidden in the asteroid belt. The Vin formation shattered. Their reinforcements arrived just in time to be trapped and broken. In 2 hours, the hegemony's local fleet was fleeing, crippled, or burning. Human losses were painful but measured. The Allies fought beside them like they had always belonged there. When the last Vin ship limped away, Admiral Kwame Okafor opened a channel to Kellrath Prime. High Chancellor Vecna, your people are safe. The Vin are gone. On the surface, millions of Kellrath stood in the streets and looked upward. Then the ancient hum of gratitude began, low, resonant, rising until it filled the sky. The old Chancellor hummed with them. tears streaking his cracked plates. After a century and a half, they remembered the galaxy changed that day. Not all at once, not perfectly, but the perseverance doctrine became law. A new rule. Kindness freely given in the hour of need creates unbreakable protection. The Kellrath rebuilt, stronger, prouder, never again helpless. And on the day the new monument was unveiled, two figures, human and Kellrath, hands and claws clasped. A young human woman named Sarah stood beside a young Kellrath chancellor named Thecna. They spoke the same words their ancestors had lived. Humanity never forgets, and neither do we, because some debts are not paid in credits or territory or power. Some debts are paid in loyalty, in time, in blood if necessary. And some promises echo across centuries until the stars themselves remember